Hallo Internet, hallo Alfred, willkommen zu Hause, schön, dass du da bist und dir Zeit nimmst für dieses Video. Lange ist es her, dass ich was zu Grey Zone Warfare gemacht habe und was soll ich sagen, es gab halt einfach nicht so viel zu berichten, um ganz ehrlich zu sein. Aber jetzt ist es endlich soweit, das lang erwartete Update 0.2 für Grey Zone Warfare wird noch dieses Jahr erscheinen und wird hoffentlich das Spielerlebnis auf verschiedenen Ebenen verbessern. Und by the way, Negativ-Hype-Videos, die über den Niedergang von Grey Zone berichten und dass das Spiel tot ist, das sollen von mir aus andere machen. Aber man darf natürlich auch nicht verschweigen, dass die Entwicklung sehr langsam voranschreitet und dass Madfinger das Game einfach viel zu früh veröffentlicht hat. Aber ehrlicherweise muss man auch sagen, dass sie das auch von Anfang an selbst gesagt haben und dass sie das Spiel veröffentlichen mussten, denn ihnen ging schlicht und ergreifend die Kohle aus. Da sie keinen Publisher im Rücken haben, der sie finanziert, ist der Early Access Release nun mal ein saurer Apfel gewesen, in dem man beißen musste. Die Ausgangslage, die sie jetzt aber haben, ist eine viel bessere und die Zukunft vom Studio und die von Grey Zone Warfare ist mit Sicherheit gegeben, denn das Spiel hat sich initial ziemlich gut verkauft, um 1 Million Mal sogar, und ich glaube, auch wenn die Spielerzahlen stark zurückgegangen sind, gibt es viele von uns, die einfach nur darauf warten, dass endlich ein neuer großer Content-Patch kommt, der die ärgsten Probleme behebt. Unter anderem waren das aus meiner Sicht zuletzt vor allem die frustrierende KI, die langen Hubschrauberflüge und Wartezeiten auf den Transport von A nach B und natürlich auch die Performance. Alles Dinge, die jetzt angegangen werden von den Entwicklern und die sie auch selbst ansprechen. Das Ganze sehen wir jetzt in diesem Video, beziehungsweise wir schauen uns den Livestream von Madfinger Games an und ich werde versuchen, ungefiltert meine Meinung und meine Sicht dazu zu geben. Ob sie das nun in den Griff bekommen werden, wird natürlich erst die Zeit zeigen. Heute sprechen wir aber vor allem erst einmal über den nächsten großen Content-Patch und den Livestream, den Madfinger bzw. Rick und Cory vom Community-Team für uns bereitgestellt haben. Dort haben sie neben dem offensichtlichen Tag- und Nachtwechsel, den Nachtmissionen, Lasern und Nachtsichtgeräten noch einiges mehr gezeigt. Schauen wir also mal rein, an was Madfinger Games die letzten Monate seit Release gearbeitet hat.
Und Devil Dog und also Cory und Rick.
All the details or the nitty-gritty of some of these things just yet.
Okay.
But you can definitely look forward to more in-depth breakdowns that's coming through our devlogs, streams, posts, and definitely more. So friends, we're just getting started.
Okay.
You know, now with over 1 million units sold, guys, we're not going anywhere. You know, we're here to stay. Working on Grey Zone for years to come, and how many years that is, that's that depends on the progression of our updates. But here's one thing that we need to make clear is we're crafting fun and memorable experiences for gamers with gamers. And we're going to keep doing this with every update. Keep you guys coming back to experience a new and improved Grey Zone with more content that's going to come out every 6 months or so, give or take. So here's the thing. Grey Zone Warfare, I mean, really, what is going to keep you coming back? Like, why do you want to come back to play? The thing is, we think of it as more than a game.
Sandbox.
It's a living, evolving experience that's shaped by you guys and driven by our passion for creating something really special. Each update is not just a content drop. Okay, let's make that clear. This is not just more content. This is a response to your guys' feedback and commitment to continuously refine the game.
Okay.
So with our first major update releasing this year, Grey Zone Warfare is going to keep getting better and better. Whether it's addressing the aimbot AI, yes.
Ja, danke.
I can tell you this right now, it frustrates me as much as
Rick.
anyone. I had an experience last night when I was in YBL, and I'm not going to lie, I confess I said a four-letter word or two, and my kids were in the dining room, and they were laughing. Not that I needed to do that, but they were laughing. We get frustrated as well. I mean, we play the game where we say negative all birds are in the air hundreds of times. So I want to let you guys know that we are addressing the aimbot AI. Yes, we found the problem. We're reducing those frustrating LZ wait times.
Nice.
We are going to continually work on optimization. We are hard at work on this as well. We have guys and gals that are hard at work behind the scenes. So trust me, we are going to do as best as we can. It's not going to be perfect. Even with this next update, you're going to see that there's still room for improvement because we're still in the early stages. All this is starting with night ops. So a couple other things.
Das Ding ist einfach, Grey Zone wurde zu früh veröffentlicht. Sie
Shut up in
mussten.
the chat if you want me to shut up, even though I still have to go just a little more. So listen, I'm sure we'll get a couple of those. But to ensure that we keep the community updated as much as we can, we're going to expand our content and deepen our connection with you guys. So this is crucial because Jakob, he's our new lead community manager. He's going to work really hard to bring you guys more updates about our team and our shared vision for the game. So we've actually hired some more people in our marketing staff because we want to get more content out. We want you guys to see more of what's going on behind the scenes. And then of course, Cory, as we said before, our creator relations manager, he's going to be working closely with content creators, but we're still going to be doing the community briefings. That's making a comeback this year.
Okay, nice.
I sometimes assume that you guys already know us, so I didn't even introduce myself if you don't know me. But I'm Rick, the PR and comms director. Blah blah blah. Right. A couple other things, and I think you guys will like some of this part. And again, we do want to.
Yo, Scully, danke dir fürs Prime-Abo.
We have been listening to you guys, and we are incorporating some highly requested features and fixes. So
ja, sie haben das Spiel 1 Million Mal verkauft. Also, das ist ein Riesenerfolg, Mann. Die haben keinen Publisher, die sind komplett unabhängig. Das ist ein Riesenerfolg gewesen, das Spiel für die.
Adding an ADS toggle option and other quality of life features that Corey will mention. There will be in-game reporting, and of course, we want you guys to really explore and get out there more. So we will be having high-value loot in Le Mans.
Nice.
So, just a couple more things. Night Ops is going to introduce some night vision mechanics, some fresh environmental points of interest, and that's going to create an ever-evolving world full of exploration and discovery. So the tactical depth of planning your moves is definitely based on the time of day, as well, not just at night either, during the day, to adapt to these new environmental changes that ensures each session remains engaging and unpredictable. We are, with each update, a wipe has to come, because we're important updates and improvements. And so a part of that is we will be implementing a wipe to, introduce critical changes. So we are slightly revamping the tasks. We're updating the vendor stock. We're rebalancing progression.
Genau, überarbeiten die Quests, sie überarbeiten die Ökonomie.
Despite the reset, you'll keep your original gear from your chosen edition, so to ensure a smooth transition there. And it's an exciting new beginning. Now, lastly, next week, I know we've been saying soon, and we admit that we didn't have the best original review of the roadmap.
Danke.
Show anything.
Danke, Rick. Ja. Richtig.
Tomorrow's going to be on the stream. He's going to actually be answering some questions.
Oh, nächste Woche ist Mara am Start.
He's going to be talking about. So you can rest assured that our boss is going to
nice,
say
cool.
some things, and he's going to be prepared with you guys to have a good time.
Mara droppt immer ein paar nice Sachen.
Mr. Corey Smith, we are ready for the tech demo.
Okay.
Tech-Demo. Oh, geil, Demo,
right,
Boys.
Here we go.
Aha, okay, das ist einfach der Trailer wieder.
Okay, guys,
okay,
so
den haben wir vorhin gesehen, Boys.
Here is with the night cycle, the day-night cycle, this is like 10 times as fast. But we do use our own Scala engine to make it as close to a one-to-one as possible to make it look like Southeast Asia, like you're there, including the constellations. While this is
Sieht viel besser aus, Mann.
We want you guys to picture yourself in is how you're going to adapt to the day and night and the mechanics that come with that.
Das muss man schon sagen.
Running into other
Optisch
players
ist es
AI
besser
at night, in
und
the
geiler
jungle,
und
not just in
interessanter.
these towns, but how you approach when you're in the trees, when you're in the forest. You're going to have essential tools, flashlights, night vision, of course, and tracer rounds and more. We're improving lighting. You're going to be able to go into buildings in certain areas you weren't able to before. So we really do have a lot in store for you guys, and we're adding more density to the map that I'll just talk about also in a little bit. But the tools all have their pros and cons. Now here you're going to see night vision. We are going to maybe take a little bold statement. You might see a little shooting star. There we go. That this is some of the more advanced tech that we've seen in a game. You can clearly see outside of the peripherals. And what's interesting and what's important to note, you're not the only one that's going to have access to MVGs. In the starting towns, basic criminals, they're not going to have them. However, based on where you're at in certain military, you might actually have MVGs, so you will need to be cautious of that. So keep in mind, this is not just like a full screen that goes green. Seeing outside the peripherals also means that you will have, based on the time of day, well, especially at night, with night vision, you do need to make sure there is still a little bit of light that Corey will talk about more specifics. Now you can obviously the white peripherals. This is something that we're taking a lot of time, and I'll have more to show you a little later on. You'll notice butterflies and some new insects that'll be in the game. With the flashlight, it just really shows the beautiful nature of the game. But you will reveal your location, so you do need to be really careful with your flashlights, especially if you see them flashing around in the jungle.
Der Chat, Alter, was die Leute im Chat schreiben, ey, die sind so geistesbehindert, Mann.
We want to make sure you can still see. But now you can see the weapon lasers. We will have a different variation of lasers that Corey will mention. The lasers are good.
Aber der Sound haut einfach immer noch nicht rein, Mann. Also der ist schon okay, aber...
Tracer rounds. No, this is not Star Wars, but you get the point. Tracer rounds will be essential. The MP5 is not yet finished, but you can see a good close look for now.
Die Leute, die im Chat schreiben, dass die Night Vision scheiße sind, die haben keine fucking Ahnung, Alter. In dem Game geht's ja um Realism.
There won't be a lot, but there will be some. And lastly, the map isn't going to get bigger, but it's going to get more dense. There's going to be other places to explore, to find loot, maybe to get little hints of the lore of the game. where there might be a military displaced or AI in other parts. It's going to give you opportunities to find more of the things in gray zone warfare that you're looking for, such as high value loot. That's going to be something that Corey will get into. But this is just a glimpse, this tech demo. And while I am talking, let me just say that I know that you guys are going to have questions.
Ich fand jetzt nicht, dass es ziemlich hell aussieht bei Nacht. Das ist jetzt, weil halt da Licht ist überall. Aber es gab ja auch Sachen im Dschungel. Im Dschungel war es super dunkel. Ohne Lichtquelle.
More of, you know, what we're adding into the game in devlogs, in streams. And Corey right now is actually going to load up the game because we're going to take you in the game. I think,
nice.
You know, it's great when we can show you pre-recorded footage and all.
Ja, zeigt das Game, Alter. Richtig. Sehr schön.
Through a certain location in the map and you'll get to see it firsthand, guys.
Ja, die müssen unbedingt den Sound ändern, Mann. Nicht nur der Sound von den Waffen, auch die Klamotten, das Equipment, die Schritte, der Untergrund, auf dem man läuft, all solche Sachen.
We'll have to wait on that for now. It is coming out this year, and you know, just stay tuned for the release date. If it was up to Corey and I, we would want it to be out right now, but we really need to get it ready. The more time we have to work on it means the more immersion, the more realism, and the more fun for you guys. Because again, it's not just about simply a sun up and sun down. I always find it fascinating when, you know, we've heard, you know, oh yeah, it's just going to be a sun up and sun down. That shouldn't take too long. But guys, we're adding so much more than just the sun going up and down. And a lot of it is really based on what you guys have been talking about. It's been quite the journey. So thanks guys for being patient.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, awesome.
All right, guys, welcome to update 0.2 Night Ops, our first major update. I preface this is an older build. There are work in progress things in it. There are placeholders, which we'll talk a little bit more about as we see them, one of them being the AI, but we have a lot to discuss, a lot to talk about while we're in here. So as you can see, this is our night sky. You can see this constellation, a lot of the stars, you know, the Milky Way. There's not a lot of light pollution in Southeast Asia. We tried to one-to-one replicate the night sky that you would see in Southeast Asia, so much so that you could actually navigate with the stars and constellations, but you guys are still going to use compasses. Anyways, the way day and night cycle works is this is an accelerated day and night cycle. So the whole, you know, the stars will move as like the Earth is actually rotating. This requires proper planning because if you go out on a mission and you're not prepared, it takes too long, you get bogged down in a battle, you quickly become night, and you're going to find yourself at a disadvantage when it comes to what gear you have.
Ja, aber man sieht noch ein bisschen was. Aber das liegt jetzt wahrscheinlich auch daran, weil es halt eine klare Nacht ist und Mond. Ich denke, wenn das Wetter später noch dazu kommt, so bewölkt und so weiter und so fort, dann...
There might be one more. So with nighttime, we are getting night vision. And as we move into the jungle, thanks to the dense canopy and lumen, it'll start getting darker and we'll need something like night vision.
Jetzt sieht man es halt, dass es dunkler wird, sobald man in den Dschungel geht und
night vision is just
cool.
Isn't just a light intensifier. So when you have ambient light, such as moonlight and such, it performs better. When you start getting into areas that the ambient light really doesn't work well,
wird auch Night Vision.
The night vision performance is going to degrade a little bit. So as you can see, this is our ANPVS 14. This is the most popular night vision. I used it overseas.
Der Corey war, by the way, selber, glaube ich, Marine oder sowas.
The way it works is it's just a monocular sitting off on your right eye, which is why it's offset on the screen to your right. Just like with night vision, though, you still get your peripheral vision. You get the blur of the tube housing in your face, and then objects, because night vision is always set to an infinite focus. Objects close up, like your gun or a map if you're reading it, are all blurred because it cannot focus. This also makes it to where weapon systems, scopes like the LVPOs, your ACOGs that are magnified, you cannot use with night vision. It cannot focus through that tube. So things like
das ist realistisch, das ist mega realistisch. Genau so ist es. Mega geil, man.
Is worth using. So with night vision, performance will degrade in certain dark areas, which you'll need things like your flashlights and your lasers. Flashlights and lasers are work in progress. So we're gonna take them off, show you a little bit more about it. As you can see, I have an X400 mounted on my 3 o'clock position, which casts a shadow from my suppressor to the 9 o'clock position. So light position is going to be important because if you're someone who runs a light on the 6 o'clock position, you're going to get a nasty 12 o'clock shadow for the suppressor.
Leute sagen horrible looking NVGs, wo ich mir denke, shut the fuck up, man, wer keine Ahnung hat.
As you can see, we will have IR lasers for night vision, which are only visible through night vision. And with that, it's a main aiming point. So one of the main ways you actually use to aim a rifle when you're using night vision. So with that, we'll also have canting, to where you'll be able to cant your weapons and aim with the laser.
That's cool.
You can use the lasers for pointing out targets, especially with the NVGs and the IR laser, but you got to be careful because someone else might actually have night vision, which is capable of picking up that IR laser. So laser and light discipline is going to be important.
Nice.
Fun things you can do with the lasers. We used to do it overseas. If a chopper or a cask
Kommunikation.
they call for a lasso,
Click,
where you
blip,
just
blip.
point your laser up in the sky, spin it around a little bit to show where you are. You can communicate using these lasers, but you can also give away your presence of where you are to anyone else with night vision. So with night vision though, we do have few different flavors. We have the PVS-14, again, the most popular. We will have the AN PVS-7, which is my most hated night vision. I hated it using it in real life. And that is a 2 into a single tube, no depth perception with it in real life, but we can't replicate that in game. And then of course we'll have the dual tubes, the PVS-31s with their white phosphor intensifiers, where they'll be white or to a bluish tint for you to use. So there'll be a lot of different things you can do with the weapon setups, with your PEC boxes, your lights and such, and what night vision you can choose. Now here's one of our first environmental points. Sometimes AI is
nice.
here.
Cool.
As you know, Japan conquered majority of Southeast Asia during World War II, and Lemang was no different. So this is one of the remnants of the Japanese occupation, these bunkers here. And these will have environmental points scattered throughout Lemang for you to go and explore, to kind of fill up some of the areas and get you out into areas that you wouldn't normally go. Now, with
cool, dass sie es zeigen jetzt, dass sie ein paar Sachen zeigen, das ist cool.
Which is something we'll talk a little bit more about as we get closer to the update release.
Ich bin froh, dass ich das Video noch nicht gemacht habe, ehrlich gesagt.
It's a lot of quality of life stuff. We have been listening to your feedback, what you guys have been asking for. So with this update, we'll be getting toggle ADS, also toggle lean.
Ah,
now
nice,
you'll be able to diagonal sprint with this
nice,
update,
nice.
and you'll be able to get prone leaning. These are just a few of the quality things we're doing based on controls. With this update, there are going to be quite a few stash changes. There'll be There'll be filtering, so you'll be able to filter better, find items that are compatible with what you're using much faster, and you'll be able to organize and consolidate your stash much quicker.
Danke,
and
danke,
that also
danke.
includes using stash cases, which will be
Nice.
in this new update. So you'll be able to
nice, Alter.
To consolidate it just a little bit
Stash
more.
cases.
The reason you need to consolidate it, let me just make sure there's not an AI in here, because sometimes there is. No, not this time. Okay, interesting. The reason for that is because we will now have high value loot. There will be areas on Lemang where you will be able to find high value loot that you'll be able to fight for, to search for, to get you to explore areas that you wouldn't normally explore. Which will help you better afford new gear, but also fight and try to get back to the fob with. This is something you guys have been asking for, and we agree. Selling the same 5 rifles over and over again is not really fun for the economy nor the player experience. So you'll be able to actually go out and find that loot and you know, bring it back to the fob.
Nice.
Of course. And where's the other guy? Just a reminder, these are just little placeholder AIs right now, but I do hear them yelling at me. That's right over here. He's so rude. I'm trying to give a presentation. Just die. There he goes. So, with the new loot, we'll have new stuff in the vendors for you to unlock and find when it comes to your night vision, your attachments, the new weapons. But there'll also be a limited vendor stock. So if your faction in your instance is buying too many Mark 18s, it can
Sachen können ausverkauft werden beim Händler.
Which will make it so where you'll have to use different weapons that you don't
use, cool.
Unless you haven't died for a while.
Sehr cool.
On top of that, if you're like
Das macht spannender. Mehr Survival.
Loses tons and tons of gear. If you end up having no gear whatsoever in your stash, you will now get a backup package sent to you with some gear for you to use. You work for a PMC company. It's not realistic for you to be sent outside the wire with just a knife. They'll always provide you with something to protect yourself and carry out these missions that they're sending you on. Of course, we're going to have new weapons. You did see the MP5, which is the one that we're showing, but there will be a few more weapons that we'll be showing off as we approach the...
Eben, es kommen noch mehr Waffen dazu, nicht nur die MP5.
So have no fear, it's not just the MP5. And then if you're worried about 9mm, I'll talk a little bit more about that once we get...
Okay, das Kaliber ist nicht so stark. Yes.
One of the requested features is, this is a team play game. You have your faction. We want you to work with your faction. You should work with your faction, but communication is kind of hard. You have to click on people on the Blue Force tracker. You have to message them. It became a pain. Coordination was a pain. So now with this update, you'll be able to have a faction chat. So your entire faction will have a chat in the server where you can communicate with each other. You can plan with each other. You can help each other with quests, look for anybody who needs help with a quest, plan PvP, or even give out warnings of certain areas to avoid where there's high enemy factions. So that's one of the things. So with the wipe, though, it is important because we are rebalancing the entire game economy towards the prices of loot, the progression itself. We will be adding new quests into the game also. Some of them being nighttime. So if you're one of those people that just avoid nighttime stuff, you're going to have to get out there and experience Le Mans in the nighttime. You know, and those are with the quests themselves, they may not be what you remember. Some of the locations of items may change, the dressings of the area might change. So it'll be a fresh experience for you when it comes to the questing. So it won't be like doing the same quest that you did before. So we're coming down this hill here and we're going to start getting to some AI. And again, I have to preface, the AI right now is just, this is an older build that we're just using to show off a few things. The AI right now is just from the live game, but the AI that will be available in the Night Ops update, we are aware of the AI aimbot. We know what's wrong and it will be reduced. We're doing some nice new rebalancing to the AI to make them still challenging but manageable. You won't get you won't see any of the crazy clips that you see posted everywhere. The AI will also have different behavior during the day and night. So right now with this update, the daytime they'll be patrolling around, of course, as usual. They'll be visible, they'll be in places that they're supposed to be in, but at nighttime, like with anybody, they need to sleep. So the AI will kind of retreat back to some of their areas. They'll actually lay in beds, sleeping beds.
Sweet.
And they'll have a guard posted. So you can use that to kind of sneak through and easily complete quests in certain areas, or you could just be a masochist and go in and shoot them all while they're sleeping. That's completely up to you. We're not going to judge you.
Sweet.
But when it comes to the nighttime gear with the AI, the bandits, with their flip-flops and their AKs,
flashlights, weiß nicht.
They will have flashlights that are attached to their webbing and to their kit.
Laser auf jeden Fall.
They will have night vision capabilities. The military, on the other hand, will have lasers. They will have flashlights. Some of them will have night vision, which is why, your flashlight and laser discipline will be very important, because if you just walk around with it all on all the time, you're kind of just throwing a bat signal through the environment. So you're going to have to be very disciplined with how your stuff, how you present your lasers and your lights.
Das ist gut, man.
There are a few AI over here I need to take out real quick. Like I said, just ignore the AI right now. I'm going to be very excited when we can show you the updated AI, and I think you guys will too. They're all inside. Oh.
Ist aber gut mit den Lichtern, aber man sieht noch so das Lumen, oder dieses Kräuslige, oder vom Rendering und so. Das wird hoffentlich verschwinden.
I don't see him. He's probably upstairs. Okay, so we're gonna forget that AI. We're gonna forget about him. So one of the things with the nighttime, every building is lit, and every building will have a power box. This isn't working in this build.
Oh, nice.
You'll be able to turn off the power.
Oh, das ist huge, man.
No, don't interrupt me. You'll be able to turn off the power inside the building from the outside. So this adds a new different.
Das ist sweet. Das ist super sweet, man.
You hear players in the inside, and they're without night vision or flashlight.
Das ist sick, Alter. Das ist sick.
And then proceed in with a flashlight or night vision. This opens up some pretty cool gameplay opportunities.
Ja, die AI fällt so schnell um, wenn du eine Dings hast, die richtige Munition, fallen sie schon so schnell um. Und es sind ja auch keine Soldaten, das sind ja normale Scavs hier. Ja.
This is going to be completely rebalanced.
Nice,
this update,
please.
along with some of the other ammo also. We know
Sehr gut.
Right now the Mark 18 is the weapon you need to use.
Yep.
And you know, we want it to be weapons to be more effective.
Deadly, Alter.
Expand the
Waffen sind, Shotguns sind insane.
Outside the wire, and you
in real life.
Them more, and you feel satisfied that they're working correctly.
Eben,
now,
das ist
keys,
wichtig, man.
We know
nice.
Keys are the problem. I've been quest blocked by a key myself for 3 days.
Oh ja, Keys?
The keys themselves are being rebalanced too.
Sehr gut, sehr gut.
Easier to find. The quest ones will not be you know, luck of the draw thing. So you'll be able to find the key that you're looking for when you're actually out in the missions. Some of them might still take you a minute or two to find, but they're not going to take you 3-4 days like that.
Ja, das ist okay. Das ist absolut okay.
So now back onto the next thing.
Danke.
The helicopter wait times. We know, just like AI,
Helikopternerven.
The LZ system and the helicopters are always going to be worked on. Their form is not final. We're always going to be doing improvements to them. In this update, we're going to have our first improvement. Let me actually get this.
Ey, ohne Witz, das Update hört sich so an, wie es sein sollte, als das Spiel released wurde.
Instead of coming all the way from your fob across the map to pick you up and then all the way back, they will spawn closer to you and they will despawn faster, which limits the amount of time that they're actually in the air. The A to B points that the choppers go is faster. They will travel faster in the air, and the splines have been optimized to reduce the flight time for each and every single helicopter. So we're hoping that this
nice to hit you.
The wait time, but
ja,
again,
aber
still is something
nicht in
that
dem
we're
Game.
working on, and the helicopters are, you know, always something we're going to be looking forward, working on. Feedback on them.
Und als Selbstverteidigungswaffe wird es trotzdem genutzt.
Improvement really alleviates the problem. One of the next quality of life features, like I said, we have a lot to show you guys, but we're only going to show you just a little bit of this update.
Nice.
Some things a surprise, right? We don't want to ruin the surprise just yet.
Okay, das Update scheint wirklich groß zu sein.
Your guys' thoughts on how loud it is to sit in the Little Bird.
Yep.
A loud experience sitting on the bench, the Little Bird under the rotor. I have done it once in real life. In real life, we have the active headsets. We can just lower the volume, and it's not a huge deal, and it's something bearable. But for you guys and your squad mates, it is really loud, and it is something that a lot of you alt-tab. I mute my mixer myself. But modern problems require modern solutions, and you are wearing an active headset. So when the chopper comes up, you can now just turn off your active headset.
Oh, sweet.
Now it's just wearing earmuffs. You can still communicate with your team, but it greatly reduces the sound, changes the audio of the world. And
Danke, Alter, das ist huge, Alter.
Wasn't close enough. But yeah, this will make the ride much more bearable. Okay, so as
Big W, Alter, big fucking W.
Q&A. If you have any questions for Rick, go ahead and
strap in. We're heading out.
Go ahead and let him fly.
Nice, man, nice, cooles
Okay,
Update.
so can you hear me okay, Corey?
Yep, you're good.
All right, perfect. So thanks to the community managers that have been recording
Sweet,
your
ist ein guter,
questions
ist
so we
gut,
can
man.
consistently
Chat rastet aus
get to them.
www.
I thought it might be good to even recap a couple of things. That yes, I saw a lot about the AI and the concerns there. Yeah, AI is one of the absolute top priorities. So with the AI, we found the problem. We're working on the solution, and we will drastically improve that. At night, will they be more difficult? Well, it will be more difficult at night, and, you know. But at the same time, it's all up to the player as well, depending on the strategy you use. You know, at night is going to be really pretty awesome because
Leute fragen immer, ob sie das Licht ausschießen können, aber das wird in dem Update noch nicht drin sein.
We will even have dedicated tasks to nighttime as well. But with the AI, it's very, very important, guys. We know we're mostly a PvE game, so we do apologize for suffering for some months on end with the aimbot, but we found the problem. So let's see. Are we really going to add only one gun? No, we see, the thing is with weapons, firstly, it's the attachments that make the weapon, right? But we are going to add, 3, 4, 5 weapons. We pretty much just want to make sure they're working right. Rebalancing them is really important. So yes.
Hoffentlich kommt eine SVD rein, Alter. Das wäre sick.
and we are working on them as we speak.
SVD, der eine hat es gerade geschrieben, eine Pfahl, so Zeug, Alter. Ich will nicht nur diese ganzen amerikanischen Waffen sehen, Mann.
You know, when you're hopping into sessions, you know, we're still working out the details that we will divulge over time. But you know, let's just say that, you know, you're playing, you know, the daytime for a few hours, and it goes to dark, and however long that works, it's going to be more in the game time. What you may have noticed is up in the top left corner of.
Nee, dieses Jahr kommt das Update noch. Sie haben noch keine Details gesagt, wann es kommt.
These things are still work in progress. But you know, the night ops, we call it night ops. We're talking a lot about the night. The game is still going to have its own different feel when you're playing during the day. And that's because of the features that we're adding, the new environmental points of interest, so that you have plenty to do during the day. Let's see.
New.
Just looking around, guys. When are we getting a roadmap? So the roadmap is, we are actually, I said in the beginning of the stream, I know some of you just trickled in, but Mara, our co-founder, creative director, CEO, and AI programmer, he is actually going to be on stream next Thursday. So guys,
nächsten Donnerstag gibt's einen neuen Stream mit Mara, finde ich cool. Nice, sweet.
I would turn the notifications on, or at least follow the channel, because we are going to try and do streams on a more regular basis.
Gut, so nice, finde ich cool, sehr gut. Dann kann man auch mal wieder ein bisschen über das Game berichten, ehrlich gesagt, weil das letzte halbe Jahr war fucking ass, Mann. Es gab eigentlich nichts zu berichten über das Game.
Okay, as far as stealth mechanics,
sehr geil.
Stealth is actually, that's part of the roadmap, so stealth mechanics themselves won't make it into, unfortunately, into night ops. But you know, it's one of those things where we
okay, Stealth Gameplay kommt später. Schade.
But that is one of the things that will come at another time, because we want that to be really good. It's going to take a little more time.
Ja, definitiv eben Munition reinbringen und so. Stimmt.
I'm curveball to you.
All right, shoot.
You know, you've been a Marine, right? Mm-hmm. And you're a weapons and combat expert.
Also mit dem Update kommt es auch schon mit den Missionen.
About the MVGs, I think it's safe to say that, including myself, when I first saw this, a lot are actually not aware of how MVGs actually look. So when they see it in the game and it looks fuzzy, they say, oh, it doesn't look great. Can you explain more about that?
Yeah, it's it depends on the generation, the tubes, like you get L-bits and stuff like that. You know, I started with PVS 7s, which were absolutely horrific unless you were looking through a field. Like going into a building with them, it was horrible. PVS 14s are a little better. When you get to the 31s, you start really getting into where you can operate and actually do things realistically. And feel comfortable with them. But night vision, this fallacy that night vision just turns everything green and crystal clear, it's not how it works unless you're dropping some serious money. I mean, like a real good set of 31s, you're looking at like 13K easy. But yeah, night vision, you know, it really is this kind of been built into this gaming era where it's just a green filter and everything looks exactly the same.
Ich find's geil, dass die NVGs realistisch sind und nicht so gamey.
Our night vision, it's I personally think, this is not me as MFG, I think it's one of the best representations I've seen from a game.
Yep.
There are mods that do it for other games really well, but this is the best one I've seen a game do. And
Arma Reforger macht's auch
more
richtig
about
geil.
The night vision and some of the other things that go along with it as we get a little closer to the update.
Yep, absolutely. You know, one of the
Ich finde die NVGs richtig nice, Mann. Das ist cool. Es gibt eine gute Balance auch, ehrlich gesagt. Und es bringt auch was dann, die Lichter zu benutzen an der Waffe. Hardware, die AI wird gefixt. Mit dem Update soll ein großes AI-Update kommen. Aber das Update kommt noch nicht jetzt raus, es wird irgendwann noch dieses Jahr erscheinen. Und es wird ein Vibe geben.
There's going to be different variations that we'll also disclose. So a lot of the details that you'd like to know more about, that's where we're going to do, you know, a little bit of a drip.
Ah, das ist gut, ey. Ohne Witz, das Update, was ich bisher von Ihnen bekommen habe, wo ich eigentlich heute ein Video machen wollte, wo ich aber Gott sei Dank nicht gemacht habe, wegen dem Livestream. Ich bin happy, dass ich den Livestream jetzt gesehen habe und das mitnehmen kann ins Video für morgen oder vielleicht am Sonntag. Ich weiß noch nicht, ob ich es morgen schaffe. Weil es ist jetzt einiges gewesen, was Sie hier gedroppt haben.
Some fun new things in the future that like Corey said, we do want to hold some surprises back, but
Ja, sie haben noch nicht alles gesagt jetzt hier in dem Stream. Es wird über die nächsten Wochen und Monate bis zum Release von dem Update noch mehr Zeug geben. Noch mehr Zeug. Also noch mehr Informationen, mehr Waffen, mehr Zeug, was in das Update reinkommt. Nächste Woche gibt es einen Stream mit Mara, genau, das freue ich mich auch drauf. Der droppt bestimmt wieder ein paar geile Sachen.
So in order to do that, you need a lot of funds. You need to keep people on staff for a very long time. And we're happy to say that because we've sold over 1 million units and we have that future.
Ja, über 1 Million Units geschippt. Sehr, sehr gut, Mann.
So we're hiring more people. I mean, we said in the beginning,
sie stellen Leute ein.
We brought some more in on the marketing team, but you know, as much as we are a part of the team as anyone, we're hiring some really important key pieces and
das ist super.
Our team is learning more and more as we go. You know, this is our first PC game. It's not like no one else has worked on a PC game, but we are going to continuously optimize. It is, I can't even tell you how many conversations we have about it. When I play the game,
die AI ist das größte Problem und sie wissen das. Sie haben es vorher ausdauernd angesprochen, was sie ändern werden. Also sie sind auf jeden Fall dran. Auch die Keyspawns und so Zeug.
We will do the very best we can, and we will start to show you more and more of these improvements as we get closer to the launch.
Cool.
So,
es lässt mich wieder ehrlich gesagt, ich bin in den Stream rein mit negativer, nicht negativ, also mit Dings im Minusbereich, aber jetzt bin ich wieder doch positiv gestimmt. Es gibt mir wieder Hoffnung für das Game.
We're going to post the whole video on Steam News.
Jo, Strambo, danke dir.
Erstmal wieder Werbung ausschalten, lol.
So even if you miss this, we're posting this entire VOD up, you know, later today. It should be later today. We want to post it as soon as possible. So, yeah, pay attention to some of the updates to come. Next week's going to be great with Mara. We really appreciate you guys, and as you guys know, every move matters. Thanks for watching.
Bye, everyone.
Das war ein nices Update. Sehr, sehr sweet. Ich denke, sie haben all die Probleme angesprochen, die wir die letzte Zeit hatten mit dem Game und die schon von Anfang an da sind. Und ja, machen wir uns nichts vor. Das Game ist zu früh released worden, aber sie mussten es halt auch früher releasen. Warum? Weil sie Kohle gebraucht haben. Denen ist das Geld ausgegangen. Und deswegen mussten sie es releasen. Schlicht und ergreifend. It is what it is. So ist es halt im Leben. Und dann konnten sie halt wahrscheinlich viele Dinge, die sie halt gerne eingebaut hätten, konnten sie halt nicht einbauen. Das machen sie jetzt. Schauen wir mal. Die Hoffnung ist auf jeden Fall zurück, dass das Update jetzt nice wird. Wir werden schauen, wie das Update ist und wie sich spielt, ob die Performance besser ist, ob die AI besser ist, was die neuen Quests sind, die Ökonomie und so weiter. Und vor allen Dingen auch der Loot, wenn man rausgeht in die Welt und Sachen lootet und so, ob es sich wirklich auch lohnt, jetzt mal rauszugehen. Und je nachdem wird durch die ganze Ökonomie-Change und so weiter und so fort vielleicht auch der Survival-Aspekt vom Game wieder ein bisschen im Vordergrund stehen und eben Jagen und Looten und so wird hoffentlich ein besserer Aspekt werden vom Game. Oder ein Aspekt werden vom Game, der verbessert wird. Ja, das war das. Sehr, sehr geil. Ich freue mich.
So Leute, das war mal der Zusammenschnitt vom Livestream von gestern. Update 0.2 macht mir auf jeden Fall wieder Hoffnung und Lust, in die Grey Zone abzutauchen. Klar, das Spiel hat immer noch seine Probleme und auch das nächste Update wird wahrscheinlich nicht alles fixen können, aber ich glaube, Madfinger ist hier auf dem richtigen Weg. Vor allen Dingen, wenn sie jetzt öfter diese Livestreams machen und mit der Community sprechen und sagen, was Phase ist. Das ist ganz, ganz wichtig. Offene Kommunikation, live, one-to-one, das ist das Allerbeste. Besser als irgendwelche Messages im Discord oder auf Twitter oder irgend so ein Quatsch. Am besten den Livestream anmachen und den Leuten sagen, was Phase ist. Und natürlich auch ungefiltert das Feedback bekommen. Ich glaube, auch das ist sehr, sehr wichtig für Entwickler, dass sie wirklich so abschätzen können, okay, ist die Community happy, ist sie nicht happy? Und wenn ich mir so den Chat angucke, der da am Livestream am Start war, dann war das schon recht harsh und durchwachsen, aber so ist es nun mal. Und ich glaube, am Ende des Tages, beziehungsweise am Ende von diesem Livestream, sind trotzdem die meisten Leute recht happy gewesen mit dem, was sie gesehen haben und mit den Antworten und mit den Inputs, die sie bekommen haben von Cory und Rick. Von daher, ich freue mich drauf, was noch kommen wird. Lasst mich gerne in den Kommentaren wissen, was ihr über die Fortschritte von Grey Zone Warfare denkt und werdet ihr zurückkommen, wenn das Update droppt. Bis dahin, danke für eure Zeit und bis zum nächsten Mal.